Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's a little different. I'm not here with a complexion product. I'm here with the new Hourglass, the Ambient Lighting Edit Unlocked Face Palette. There is a total of 3 palettes. I got the deepest palette, and I had mine customized because I purchased from the Hourglass website. So instead of the tigers, I got the elephant because I love elephants, and some of the proceeds goes to help animals in unlocking their cages. So I think that's like a really good cause. All right, so it retails for $85. It's Hourglass. So, you know, what do you expect, right? And it's vegan, so it's limited edition, and it's featuring photoluminescent technology and exclusive packaging. Everything else you can read either on their website or the Sephora website. All right, I love the kind of peach outer packaging. This is what the packaging looks like. It's super pretty. I've swatched it on my own already. The only thing I don't like, I wish this mirror stood up, but it doesn't. So it falls back down. All right. So 2 of these shades in this palette are repeats. This shade is a repeat, the finishing powder. When I saw this online, I thought this was a bronzer. I wish they had put a bronzer instead of a powder, personally. So this finishing powder and this blush are repeats. So I already have the finishing powder, and it's in the Ambient Lighting Palette Volume 3. So if you have this palette, you already have the finishing powder. So this is the finishing powder. So I already own this powder. So only 4 shades are new. All right. So top row, we have the transcendent light, which is the finishing powder. We have the metallic strobe powder. Then we have the blush in Burnished Glow. On the bottom, we have the metallic strobe powder, which is the, not a strobe light, but it's the highlighter. Then we have another metallic strobing powder, which is Copper Flash. And then we have the blush, which is Iridescent Rose. All right, so let's go ahead and start swatching. So we're gonna swatch the top row first, which is the Burnished Glow, the finishing powder, and the strobe light. All right, so this is the, excuse these little stuff on my hand, long story, but I'm good. This is Burnished Glow. This is a very pretty color, as expected. This is the finishing powder, which doesn't really show up that good on my arm, but this is what it looks like. And finishing powders are supposed to be a little translucent or whatever. I've used it from that palette, and I do like it. I do like it. I just personally wish that it was a bronzer instead, and this is the strobe light. So this is the top row swatched. All right, so for the bottom row, we have the highlighter, we have the Copper Flash, and we have the Iridescent Rose. So let's start off with the Iridescent Rose. This is like a pinkish silver kind of blush shade. Copper Flash. This has an orange undertone as well. And then we're going to finish up with the highlighter. I wished the highlighter was a little deeper, personally. It's more of a soft gold, or maybe like a champagne. All right, so these are the swatches. Let's go ahead and put everything on the face. All right, so we're gonna start with the finishing powder. I'm already wearing my setting powder, my Laura Mercier powder. So I'm just gonna go over my face with the finishing powder. And I do like the mirror. I think it's usable, like you can see your full face. So I'm actually going to use this mirror today. So on the brush, it's looking sort of like peachy, kind of, but to me, on my skin tone, it doesn't show up like that. So it's gonna use it as, you know, just how I would use a finishing powder. Just like dusting it over everything, pulling everything together. And it's sort of, if you look at my forehead, I think it sort of like smooths out my forehead. Now this strobe light though, I am not sure how to use this. I'm gonna take the same brush, my Sonia G brush. I'm gonna kind of like go around my face and strobe a little bit. Like up here. Maybe I'll strobe the center and like this part. So I'm not sure what this really does on my skin tone. Okay, I saw a little bit of light here, but I wouldn't see myself reaching for like the strobing powder, if I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I don't know if it showed up on me. Maybe it's that lit from within kind of look, but I don't know. For me personally, I wouldn't see myself reaching for that as much. All right, so let's go ahead with the blushes. Now, I want to use every color in the palette so you guys can see it on my skin tone, especially if you're looking at this as a person with deeper skin. So this has like a little orange undertone to it as well, compared, you know, to that one. So maybe I'll put a little bit of this, the Copper Flash, and then I'll go over with the burnish over top. Just a little bit, just to see what it looks like. Oh, that's pretty. I don't want to go in with too much because I want to use that orange. Okay. That's not bad. And if it's built up, it definitely has like a copperish kind of like tone to it. It's pretty. I think it will be flattering on deep skin. All right, so let's go in with the Burnished Glow, the orange, the one that I'm most excited for. Oh, it's pigmented. And I like putting blush on the apple of my cheek as opposed to really pulling it up. Okay, that's pretty. If you're of a lighter skin tone, you may want to have a light hand, but I'm going in because, oh wow, this is girl. Okay, this is beautiful. It's reminding me of Nars Taj Mahal, but with just a little bit more sheen to it. This is super pretty. Oh my goodness, I think this looks really beautiful on my skin. All right, so let's get into Iridescent Rose, which is the pink blush. I'm a little worried about that because of the undertone with the sort of like white in it, but let's see. And this looks as though I'm gonna have to build it up as well. This is how it picked up. Exactly, just like I thought. Okay, this is pulling pink silver on my skin tone. I wished they hadn't added, I wish it wasn't like, I don't know, this kind of swirl. I wish it was just the pink. Or if you do the swirl, do like a, maybe they could have done a deep pink and then the swirl like a lighter pink. Because at least on my skin tone, as you can see, it's pulling pink silver. I do not like silver on my skin tone. To me, it's not flattering. So this probably I would use as a topper. I will probably have to use this. Let me build it up some more. I will probably have to use this over top of like my favorite blush from the Patrick Star palette, from his Freaky Peach palette. This would have to be a topper. On its own, it's definitely pulling pink silver. All right, so the last shade would be the highlighter. I like to set my face before I put on highlighter, so I'm gonna do that and I'll be right back with the highlighter shade. All right, let's get into the highlight shade. Okay, this is definitely like a light gold. I don't think it's light as like champagne. It's just like a really light gold on my skin tone. I think it looks prettier than I thought. I think, but maybe because I'm putting it over like the orange. So let's see how it looks on this side. I don't think it's gonna pull as pretty or as bright on this side, but let's see. Yep. This just kind of emphasizes the silveriness of this blush, like the pink silver, see that? So I think this highlight is going to depend on what blush you're wearing. If you wear a deeper blush like this one, I think it's going to look beautiful because I think it does look really pretty on this side. But on this side, if you wear it with something like this, as you can see, it's pulling very champagne over this blush because this blush already has that sort of ashy undertone to it. But I think I like the blush a little bit more now that I look at it. Not my favorite because of that silver undertone, but I would definitely use it as a topper over another blush for me. Or if I use it on its own, I probably won't put as much because looking at it now against my skin tone, it looks really pretty. I just don't like that silver, and I obviously wouldn't use this highlighter over this blush at all. All right, so this is everything on my face. I will be back. Let me just finish up my lip and I'll be back with my overall thoughts on this palette. All right, guys, let's talk. Now, for $85, should you run out as a woman of color and buy this palette plus pay shipping and taxes? I don't think so. It's a beautiful palette, yes, right? But when I reach for this palette, because I know myself, I'm going to be reaching for this palette specifically for this blush right here. It's stunning. I love it, right? The others is like, eh. So for 85 bucks, I don't want to go, you know what I'm saying? I don't think this should have been a finishing powder. They should have put a bronzer in here, a proper bronzer for deeper skin. I know they tried because I think this is like the deepest they've released. They've been listening. It could have been even deeper, in my opinion. This blush should have been more like pink or even put gold, like a pink gold and a little deeper, right? So for this, if I have to use this, for me, I will be using it as a topper. It's not bad. Like I said, now that I'm looking at it, it doesn't look too bad, but that pulling kind of silver is a no for me. So I will put it over like a pink blush, like I said. This one, this could be like, if I was, you know, back into wearing my eyeshadows and stuff, this could probably be a nice shade for your eyes as well. I'll probably wear this mixed with this one. I don't think I want to wear it on my own. It's kind of like very like bronzy, definitely like copper. I don't like too much like coppery shades on my cheek. This is my personal opinion. The highlighter could have been darker. I think it could have been as dark as the one in the Volume 3 palette. This is a little too champagne-y, light gold for my liking. But I do like the way it looks over this particular blush. I think it looks really pretty over the that blush. Let me put some on my nose. I forgot my nose. See how it will look. Oh, it popped right away on my nose. It's not, okay, it's not bad. I guess I just wouldn't pair it with this one. It's pulling too silver. This strobing powder, guys, if you guys know exactly how I should be using this like correctly, let me know. Because you guys saw the way I used it. I just kind of put it around my face. And I don't know, is a strobing powder supposed to be like that light? Because I feel like it's like, I won't put too much because I won't want that silver ash on my face either. And the finishing powder, it's okay. I don't think it's as good as like the Charlotte Tilbury flawless finishing powder in the compact. I already own it in that palette. But if I do pick the palette up to use it, I would use it because I have the palette in my hand. So it's basically, I would say I would probably would use maybe 3 out of the 6 shades, and for $85, I don't know. Or maybe I can just mix them all together. I'll play with it because, you know, I did spend money on it. I love the packaging, like I said, especially the outer packaging with the elephant, the color. I wish this stood up and not fold. So that's my thoughts on it as a consumer that spent her coins on this palette. And but it is a pretty palette, and it is deep enough for deep skin. Could have been even deeper. The blush could have been a little deeper, I think. And I think instead of that finishing powder, they should have just put a proper bronzer, because I think that would be better. Like, you pick up the palette to use, you get your bronzer, you get your highlighter, you get your finishing powder. But hey, and that strobe powder, I wouldn't put it like under my eye. So I don't know. You guys are gonna let me know. All right, guys. I'm not gonna keep you any longer. I want to thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.